My experience yesterday visiting some of the families that have been participating in the nutrition pilot were amazing. When I saw those parents, how much they cared about their children. When they were first told that their children were not getting the appropriate nourishment, I think it must have been a shock. And yet they thought, I've got to do everything I can to help my child. And they made every effort to keep track of what they're eating and to provide the appropriate nutrition. And they were just so sweet. Before I came, I learned some of the really difficult challenges with malnutrition, that if children do not receive appropriate nutrition before they're 5 years old, it has irreparable lifelong effects on their thinking, on their cognitive abilities. Not just the stunting, not just small stature, but actually they cannot recover cognitively. So to take that seriously all over the world, this isn't just the only area where this is a challenge. That once we can figure out how to address this problem here, that can be replicated in any area of the world that has that challenge. And I am just really excited for the future of the children of the church when this goes forward. One of the things I learned is that this challenge of malnutrition is not limited to any particular group. There were parents who were educated, parents who had sufficient income, and yet their children had the same kind of a challenge. So really, it can strike anywhere. And I think that was one of the wonderful things that I saw, is that there was no judging, that all of the people in the units rallied around their members and helped them. I heard one bishop yesterday share about how he was surprised that one of his children was in that same group. So it doesn't depend on your testimony. It just depends on how much you know. And once they knew, they were willing to make all those changes. That's one thing that really stood out to me. One of the things I noticed is that the program that was done here, it was not something that was just sent from headquarters, but actually the leaders sat down and counseled together. They received revelation, they acted on revelation, they learned from what they had done, and they created a marvelous program that was really beneficial to the members here. That sense of camaraderie, that sense of partnership, that sense of loving your brothers and sisters was just marvelous. One thing that I saw in the nutrition pilot was how the priesthood leaders, the elders quorum, the bishoprics were working just hand in glove with the Relief Society leaders. At both levels, the women were absolutely essential in helping this to go forward. I think sometimes women don't see themselves as strong as they are and making the great contributions that they can make. And when we harness the power of the Relief Society in an effort like this, it makes such a difference. These wonderful women went, because of love, went out of their way and did everything they could to be a support and a strength to those families who had the needs. And their pride in the progress of the children, when they would see them growing and getting stronger, it was just as important to them as if it were their own child. I think one of the things that I really appreciated was the ministering sisters. They were so dedicated to loving those children and their mothers. And they would visit often, and they would help them with whatever questions they had, and they would provide the support and encouragement that they needed to make a difference in their children's lives. I think that was one of the things that I really came away with, is that the love and the dedication, and that ministry really works.